This person's being rescued. The fireman just got to the person. It appears to be a snowmobile. A snowmobile went through. He got off the snowmobile. He's right now. There's firemen trying. There is a fireman. What you're looking at right there with what they call a dry suit on. The guy's coming right up on the ice right now. The snowmobiler. He's just getting up onto the ice now. The ice keeps breaking underneath the snowmobiler, and the fireman is right behind the snowmobiler. There's other firemen out there on the ice with dry suits on, trying to pull this line that's attached to other firemen out near the shoreline, Steve, out in the middle of this pond.
Ricky, hang with us a second just to update everyone. This is happening right now on Turkey Pond in Concord. Give you a sense of where it is. Interstate 89. It's actually at Clinton Street in Concord. One person falling through the ice is our Chief Pilot Rick Wixon is reporting, and you are looking at live pictures right now, a dive team in these dramatic moments as they rescue this person from the icy waters. And in just a second, we're going to go back to Ricky to give us an update on what's happening, but we should let you know that this has all been unfolding in the past couple of moments. Ricky, what's happening right now? Can you describe a little bit more? How high are you above the scene, actually?
Actually, Steve, I'm 1,000 feet above the scene. And because we're going live with the microwave. But the snowmobile went under the water. The guy got off the snowmobile, and right now they're pulling the guy out of the water onto the ice. The ice is breaking behind the guy and the diver. There's a diver behind it with no tanks on. And right now they're still trying to pull the guy across the ice. We'll turn the camera to the other guy that's pulling on the rope. There's the other fireman right there on the ice with a wetsuit on, well, dry suit. Dry suit keeps from getting hypothermia and stuff. This snowmobile, I mean, he's got to be really close to hypothermia setting in, because he's just laying on the ice right now. Obviously, they're just trying to get some his breath and stuff like that. And he just fell through the ice again, Steve, right now. He just fell through the ice again, and the diver's behind, the fireman with the wetsuits behind him. Unfortunately, the guy, the rescue, and just fell through again. The ice is breaking underneath them as they were pulling him across the ice, and the ice is broken underneath this guy that's trying to rescue, Steve.
I'll let you try and get a little bit closer there, but perhaps you can explain, if we're going to let you get a little bit closer in just a second, but I want to bring in obviously a dramatic scene unfolding even as we speak at Turkey Pond. Ricky, again, how are they making out at this point?
Right now, Steve, we're going to take another look. The ice, the fireman is crawled up on the ice by this guy and trying to get by him. He's up on top of the ice again, as you can see in this live picture from Sky9. He is up on the ice, and now they're pulling him right now they're pulling him on top of the ice. The ice is strong enough holding the guy. The diver's fireman is distance away from him, and the guy is he ain't moving right now, and they're pulling him. He was moving earlier, but we're not seeing any movement out of him. The divers have pulled him onto the ice, and the ice is not breaking at this time where they are pulling him, and they've connected another rope to him, so they're pulling him rather rapidly across the ice. Right there, you can see the other fireman that's pulling the rope, and other firemen trying to attach other ropes to this gentleman. It's going pretty good right now, Steve. He is on top of the ice, the gentleman is.
Rick, let me just mention that obviously we do not know a name of this person that was involved in this incident, and we're certainly going to keep the shot where it is right now, but we don't want anybody at home to make any sort of an identification on who this person is. We have no idea on their condition. It's unclear how long they were in the water. Obviously, this is a tricky situation for us. We're live over the scene of a breaking story on Turkey Pond in Concord, and you can see the dramatic moments. Ricky, obviously, you know rescue workers in the area as well as I do. The firefighters and the dive teams train for this sort of emergency, and maybe you can take a second and talk a little bit about your understanding of how this operation works, because they take great pains to do this rescue as safely without putting any of these divers in any jeopardy.
Absolutely, Steve. I'm actually a dive master, and these divers that are out here right now, they got dry suits on. The dry suits keep them warm. There's no water going into their bodies, and they're staying warm. This gentleman, or whoever it is out on the ice, as you see right there, that person's cold. But getting them to a rather thick piece of ice real shortly here, as you can see, that ice right there where the white is there, that's rather thick, and that's where all the snowmobiles have been going and stuff like that. So he the gentleman should be all right now, Steve. He's not moving, but he's probably about 10 feet away from fairly solid ice. But of course, he isn't onto the solid ice at this time yet, but he's really close.
Ricky, real quickly, because you have a better vantage point than we do, is that whole body of water, the whole Turkey Pond, is it covered with ice? I mean, it looks like it's open in some areas. What can you see?
You're right, Steve. It's open in different areas. They've been snowmobiling. There's all sorts of snowmobiles around, going snowmobile and stuff like that. And there's open areas, and obviously this gentleman went out onto an open area, whether he was skimming or whatever was going on. I don't know. I don't have no idea. But the snowmobile is gone. The helmet was floating when I first got here. And the person is moving, Steve. I see a little bit of movement on one leg. And the fireman is pulling for some more rope, and they're definitely pulling this gentleman, hopefully, to safety. I just saw his head move, so it's a good sign, Steve. He's moving. He just moved his arm up and down. He just moved two arms up and down, Steve. It looks, yeah, he's moving again, Steve. He wasn't moving there for a while, so I was concerned, but now he is moving, so he definitely might be all right.
All right, so that's certainly some encouraging news. Ricky, I'm being told that apparently to help them out in just a second, but before I let you go, are they getting any closer to land at this point? And by the way, our videographer aboard Sky9, Aaron Willie, is doing an excellent job for us this afternoon, but can you give us a sense of, we see the rope in the camera shot. Are they getting closer to land at this point?
Actually, Steve, we're going to show you. We got this special lens, gyro lens on. Now we're going to show you how long this rope is. Aaron's going to show you. Now that we're going quite a distance. Now that's still across ice, still open water. Now you're seeing a fire boat there. There's the fire boat, and we're still going across. There's the land there, Steve, that the firemen are at and stuff like that. And they're going back and forth with snowmobiles and stuff like that. There's quite a distance between the land and where this gentleman is. And we're still going across open ice, Steve. This ice is fairly sturdy right here. Now this is where the whole scene is taking place right there. They're staging the situation right there, Steve.
Rick, real quickly, can you give us a sense? We were talking to meteorologist Chris Thomas a second ago. What are the weather conditions like from your vantage point? I know sometimes it gets awfully windy up aboard Sky9, but how chilly is it out there today, and what sort of conditions are they dealing with?
Actually, Steve, the dry suits that these gentlemen are wearing are very, very, very good. Unfortunately, the gentleman that's in the water, he's got the chance of hypothermia setting in, and there's really not a lot they can do with the hypothermia of the person that's pulling with this rope. But you can see how far away from actual land this is, and the boat, I'm going to guess, is 600 yards out from the actual open water. They've still got a tricky situation going on here, Steve, because of the open water. There's a channel of open water before you see the fireboat there, and out to the actual person on the water. They're not working on the gentleman on the ice, but there is a fireman near him. He's up on top of the ice. He was moving a few minutes ago. He's obviously laying spread eagle, what they call it, so they less weight on the ice, and he's coming to where there's other firemen, Steve. They are pulling him right now. They're slipping and sliding on the ice. They're having problems with that, but the firemen are doing a great job. There's 3 of them out here with dry suits on the ice. They're all staggered with these ropes that they're pulling them. They're pulling them across the ice right now, as you can see in that live shot, Steve.
And Rick, as a dive master and with your depth and breadth of experience, I mean, this, as people watching this at home, this is exactly textbook of how a water rescue on ice should be happening, the way they're doing this. Isn't that correct?
Oh, absolutely. These gentlemen are doing a fine job, these firemen and stuff like that, Steve. They're out here with a boat, and, they're not taking any chances. They've got a boat out here. They've got dry suits on themselves, so they're not having a hypothermia situation. But, these guys are going to get tired pulling on this rope all this time. But they are secured to a boat, so the divers with the dry suits are on. They're not going to have any problems, even if they go through the ice. They're still pulling. There's 3 guys pulling on this one gentleman. The boat itself is on the ice, and they're having a hard time pulling them from shore because it's so far away from the shore, Steve. Of course, if they were near the shore, they could yank them right in, but unfortunately, this is so far out in the middle of this pond that there is just no way that they can get a rope to land.
You Hang on just a second. I just want to recap for our viewers, perhaps that may be just tuning in right now. But what you're looking at, again, live pictures from Sky9 in Concord. This is Turkey Pond. It's off of Clinton Street near 89, if that gives you any sense of where we're located today. One person, as you can see, these dramatic pictures, live pictures, falling through the ice. Our own Rick Wixon reporting apparently this victim may have been on a snowmobile. It fell through the ice, and obviously it's a thin layer of ice. No word on his condition, but you can see our own Rick Wixon was reporting a short while ago, and we can see from these live pictures that he is moving his feet and he was moving his arms a little bit earlier, so that can only give us an indication that perhaps these are not life-threatening injuries, which would certainly be encouraging news on this Christmas Eve and this dramatic story.